Two. Alright, welcome back everybody. Another week, another great day here. Coming off a great card, UFC 273, real fun.
From start to finish, it was a fun
Start
card,
to
honestly.
finish. As always, I'm here joined by my boy Jay.
Gang, what up, what up?
And there's Theron.
What's good? I don't think West Side is a bad gang sign to throw. I don't think it's even a gang sign. It's a part of the thing. Yeah, you know.
Anyways, coming off a really good week, really fun card. A lot of a good amount of finishes, good amount of decisions too, at least on the prelims. Nasty knockouts too. Really nasty knockout
Yeah.
on the prelims.
Yeah, that Mickey Gall was crazy.
Yeah, bro, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. Off the card, we had a really good fight. Julio Arce taking on Daniel Santos. Arce got the job done, winning by decision. Then we moved on to Pierre Rodriguez fighting Kay Hansen, beats Kay Hansen by decision.
And
Actually,
yeah, took her out of the UFC there, bud. Kay Hansen had a lot on the table and just did not pull through.
what was it? What was it, Theron? What'd you say?
Oh, the bitch need to worry about her fucking career, not her OnlyFans. You slut. All right, get it together.
And then to finish off the early prelims, Alexio Linick is a comeback win against Jared Vandera
Man.
with a neck crank, bro. Neck crank. Disgusting.
Got that fucking dad strength, son.
Honestly, that old man strength.
Bro, it's like, would you rather be strangled by him or Ben Askren? Like, cause Brad Askren can like break watermelons with his fucking forearms. That's scary, dog. And
I
Alexio
think
Linick,
I still think I'd be more scared of Alexio or that happening to me from him just because like the language barrier and shit like that. Like you know, it'd be one thing if like goofy ass, literally funky Ben Askren was chunky you talking about like
if he's speaking
disc
Russian in
golf.
your ear while he's choking you
Yeah,
out, bro.
yeah,
That's scary.
Literally.
sipping vodka and shit. Nah, son, I'm cool.
The man's breath stinks of vodka while he's choking you out. Arms around his neck.
But moving on to the prelims. Bro, what a way to open up the prelims. This knockout was disgusting. Mike Mallet, or Mello, however you say his name, knocking out Mickey Gall in the first round.
Feels bad,
And,
man.
like, he made him
Did you say he's
mad.
Batman?
No, I said it.
Yeah. I think you said he's Batman.
He looks like he would play a good Bruce Wayne, though. Not even gonna lie about it.
For real, bro. For
Yeah,
real.
yeah, or Nightwing. Yeah,
But that knockout was disgusting, bro.
It feels bad, man. I kind of wanted to see Mickey Gall pull it out.
I did like Mickey Gall. I've been running with Mickey Gall since fucking the CM Punk, shit.
He's a
Cause
clown.
he had no business. You Mickey Gall is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, I don't know.
Bro,
But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get cut at the same time that fucking everybody else did. Because
I
it
don't
seemed
know
like
how.
it seems like
Especially after that loss.
Yeah.
it seems like in the UFC, like after like a certain day, maybe it's like the Tuesday with the rankings or whatever like that. Like there's a call or something like that that goes out, and you got to make a decision because like the same time Marlon Moraes retires, great career, my Marlon Moraes by the way, but
Yeah.
same time he fucking retires, the same time Cowboy gets cut, and same time Kay Hansen gets cut. So it's like
I forgot
I
that it was
feel
Alex Oliveira.
yeah.
That's tough. He was. I mean, like,
Um,
and like he hasn't.
He was on a 4-fight losing streak.
He is
Like,
the worst record I've ever seen of anybody. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
But I feel like he was just that OG of the UFC. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude's been around for fucking ever.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I
But
guess 4-fight win streak. He kind of
4-fight losing streak.
losing streak. Yeah, my bad. Worked his
And
way
now
right
Mickey
out.
Gall 1-3 in his last 4, and he lost to Mike Perry, Alex Morono, and now Mike Mallet. Bro, that's looks like it's time. Switch camper.
Yeah.
You might get booted. I mean,
Dude, you
we'll
gotta
see
do
what
something,
happens.
man. You gotta do
Yeah, the
something.
fucking the Make a Wish cut
His
wasn't enough.
his jujitsu isn't good enough for all that.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, no, jujitsu is not gonna. It's not gonna win you fights standing up, man. You gotta protect your chin, but
He does look like he got a little Down syndrome in him.
Bro, you know,
he begged Dana
it,
White for this fight. Literally, this is Dana
and
White's
just gets
fucking Make-A-Wish donation.
and just gets absolutely floored, bro. Oh my god. Moving on.
I'm to
Uh,
cut some of that out.
Yeah,
Raquel Pennington
Raquel Pennington looked good, man.
taking 9 days notice.
Yeah,
She beats Aspen Ladd,
she
and
looked
that's
real
because,
good.
bro, Aspen Ladd is just scared to fight. Like I'm genuine. Like she's scared to throw punches for the first 2 rounds, and then at the third round she's like, whatever.
You know, like I hate to get personal with like how I feel about fighters and shit like that because most of the time it's like just emotional shit. But for whatever reason, I don't like Aspen Ladd, um, and I don't think that I don't think that she's gonna last very much longer either.
I
Or
think she
shit
needs
like
to
that.
switch. She needs to
She
switch camps.
she's fucking. That's 3-2. No, it's 3-1 in the last four now because she was 2-2 coming into the last four.
Yeah,
Um,
lost 3 and won 1.
no, no, I take it back. It would be 2-3,
She's only 27 though.
Yeah,
right?
she's
Uh,
young, but I mean, being that young, like, especially fighting someone like Raquel
I
Pennington,
don't
you
know,
can't start
but
slow.
the Jermaine Durandamy loss, I don't think that should have an asterisk. That was like such an early stoppage.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
well,
you can't really count that.
and I heard something, through the grapevine. I don't necessarily know how true it is or how solid it is, but it was something to the effect of her like doing some level of cheating and shit like that.
Ooh,
Aspen Ladd.
Really?
Yeah,
cheating.
yeah. I don't know what it was. If it was like
What is she cheating?
like I'm not sure if it was like in the cage sort of shit like that, like hold on to the fence, holding on to shorts, shit like that. I'm not sure what it was. I really can't remember
Oh, I do remember seeing
specifically.
something on like Twitter or Instagram about her like grabbing the fence, or maybe it was I was watching Israel Adesanya's reaction video to the fight, and he was calling out like she's grabbing shorts, she was grabbing the glove, grabbing the fence, like when she got taken
Yeah,
out.
so something was just publicly said about her in that light, and I was already not necessarily in in favor of her at the time, anyways, which only made me turn a little bit more
Well,
sour
I
to
think
it.
it goes back to what Zach was saying is like she's scared. Like I feel like she's just scared. Like she starts off
She,
slow and then lets the other fighter get ahead of her, and then
if you
she
look
tries to find any
the
way out.
the way she fights, if you look the way she fights, especially in those first 2 rounds, she's throwing and she's doing this like head movement, but she's literally throwing nothing.
Yeah, she's like throwing
She's
feints
fainting.
the whole fight.
She's fainting, but like their combinations in the air.
Yeah.
Because like you say, oh, she's throwing to gauge distance. Like I understand that if you're throwing to gauge distance, but you're throwing literally like a 4 punch combination and you're just hitting the air.
Right,
Yeah,
literally.
no,
And
somebody had I'm sorry.
No, I'm just
No,
saying
it
you throw a
might.
jab out fucking to gauge your distance. You gotta throw a fucking
Right,
three
yeah.
punch combo.
throws a front kick to end the distance gauging. Like I don't.
Somebody had a
It's time
meme
new camper,
about
get out of here.
somebody had a meme about Macy Barber doing the same thing. It
Yes,
was like
literally
a
that's something they
fucking
both do.
um, like it was like I don't know, a good 35 seconds of her just swinging at air. And I'm a Macy Barber
Me
fan
too.
for
That's
sure.
that's literally
Uh,
something they just do.
Which I
It's
mean,
to
but
pro-
like
it's
I
to
get it,
protect themselves from the blitz.
but at that you gotta throw something. You gotta touch them at least.
yeah,
Like even if you're not hitting them hard, like touch their face with your glove. Like let
we
them
just
know that you're
move in
there.
closer.
Right.
Like they're not advancing so much so as they're just putting that like jab in their face.
Well, like that's the thing
Um,
too. Like if you're gonna throw a jab to like gauge your distance, you have to like fucking use it to gauge your distance. Don't throw a jab and then 3 punches behind it to gauge your distance. Like
right,
use
yeah.
that jab to gauge your distance and then fucking come in and throw those last 3 punches or whatever combo it might be. But
But yeah,
I think she might be on her way out too. Unfortunately, I think she maybe got like 2 more losses, and she might be done for. But
Yeah, that's 2 and 3. I'll just go for the last 5 because I was going off all my predictions off the last 4,
right.
but 2 and 3 right now, in the UFC.
But moving on from that, Anthony Hernandez beating Josh Fremd. Or bro, that wasn't even a fight.
I mean,
He was in control that whole fight.
unanimous
Just
decision. The
one
judges
step
fucking
ahead.
judges. I mean, they didn't give him a fucking chance to do anything. Anthony Hernandez just had the gas pedal on the whole time.
Yeah. And moving on from that one, another decision: Ian Gary and Darian Weeks.
That one, I was surprised Ian Gary didn't get Darian Weeks out of there quicker. Darian Weeks is a fucking warrior for that one. That was a grueler of a fight, and I
It
thought
was
Ian Gary
still
was
somewhat competitive. I think it was competitive up until the third round.
No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It was a more competitive fight than I was expecting. I was expecting Ian Gary to come in there and just wash Darian Weeks. To be
For
completely
the height difference and like reach difference
Yeah.
of Gary compared to Weeks, it was admirable. Because like that was somebody smaller getting in there with the bigger guy, even though the same weight class and shit like that.
Never took a back
Yeah,
step.
no, he was in it.
I think they're just trying to feed
Ian
they're just
Gary.
trying to feed him. Yeah,
Ian Gary's
but
gonna be. I think Ian Gary's gonna be a. I don't think he'll be quite like a. So like right now, I got Ian Gary and Patty Pimblett. Like whoever, which one of those two is gonna take the step up and be that fucking star of the UFC? But I have a weird feeling it's gonna be one of those two.
I think Patty's had the hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think Patty could potentially be Conor McGregor esque. Not Conor McGregor, but he could be on a level similar to what Conor McGregor was at his prime. But nonetheless, Ian Gary, he looked good. Still, it was a decision win, but he didn't look bad at all.
Yeah. As of right now, I think Patty's got the most traction. But I would like to see Ian Gary blow up and become some big. I love fucking Irish people. I love all the Irish fighters.
Yeah, facts. Fuck him.
Your wife send me DMs.
Hey, baby.
You little hoe.
Fucking main card though, bruh. I wasn't too excited about this Vince Pichel Mark Madsen fight. Didn't disappoint though. Not gonna lie. I mean, from like
hot take. Fuck Mark Madsen.
Why,
Just a hater.
I am a
He's
hater.
just a hater.
I am a hater. I don't know.
I don't know. Why am I a hater? I don't know.
Let me gather myself. I did gather my thoughts. But no, Mark Madsen. He just like I don't know. There's like certain people who come into the UFC with like some type of like title behind them, him being an Olympian and shit like that, and I feel like they get like so much better treatment and like I don't know, sometimes easier fights it seems almost. And not to take anything from Vince Pichel, I meant more prior to this fight or anything like that, because I really wanted to see Vince Pichel win, and I think the only reason why he didn't was because Madsen was hanging on him at the last bit of the third round, and maybe even second
that was
too.
Zack's argument for Aljo, saying he could have been called for stalling, but I mean that's a good argument.
No, I think it's different. These are two different situations. Because Madsen was actively moving. He was still throwing punches.
He never progressed on any submissions, and Pichel wasn't beat up either.
But that's also a judge thing, or not an official thing, like a referee thing. That's completely up to the referee of whether they're going to stand up to fighters or
and
not.
That's the thing too. So like Mark Madsen was on top. Like Aljo had back control. That we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But Mark Madsen,
I'm telling you right now, when we get into it, there's nothing you can say to justify that decision.
Bro,
I don't care who you are. We're going to get to it in like 2 more fights, so it's fine. You're going to hear me blow up, so it's okay. Anyways, Mackenzie Dern steals a win from Tisha Torres. Hot take. She didn't deserve to win that fight. She got outstruck.
Another hot take: her accent's fake, and I figured that out during fight week, and I'm pissed now.
Wow, it's not like I sent you guys a video of that. I, s- I literally put a video in the group chat of her evolution of her accent in like two months.
Bro, and now it's
It
just
went from
gone.
it
It's
went
just
from it
completely
went
gone.
from it went from white Cali girl accent in like 2 months to like this heavy Brazilian thing. You know how they overpronounce everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns speaks better English than her.
Gilbert Burns is
Like
My,
Brazilian as
that's still
well.
my baby.
Yeah, no,
he's
she's
a
still from there.
Ribbit.
Had a couple good
rivet.
camera angles during that fight, you know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, I mean, you could say she stole that one. Um,
She did. She was
T-
gifted that win.
Tisha
Tisha Torres
Torres is,
outstruck her.
yeah.
Tisha Torres kept the pace with her. Bro, all those
She
kicks
didn't want that
were
submission smoke.
No, yeah, she
If
wasn't. She deserved it.
if Mackenzie could have finished on that,
that
or
armbar,
just yes, she
which was
had that.
nasty. That was disgusting.
She had her number when it
It,
came to the grappling aspect of that fight.
Yeah. Well, she is at. I mean, she's at an advantage with any women's strawweight fighter on the ground, pretty much. Except
Perhaps that's what they were like looking at as
no,
the judges. It's like who is in the most danger at a certain point in the fight. Because even though she was outstruck, it wasn't like she was fucking George St. Pierre, Jimi Hendrix looking at the end of the fight. Like she wasn't fucked
but
up.
there's
Um,
there's no power between like behind their shots either.
yeah.
They're not throwing with the same volume and the same intensity
Okay,
as
maybe that's
as competitors.
exaggeration, but I'm just saying to say that like we haven't. It's not like we haven't had women's fights where they are a lot more vicious and fucking bloody and shit
Oh
like that,
no, yeah, yeah,
where
yeah,
we
that's not what I'm
have
saying. But I'm
more
just saying
damage and shit like that.
like they both looked fine after the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But talking about not looking fine after a fight, that Hamzat beating Burns by decision and
Man,
the way they looked afterwards, that was. And some people were saying that this was a robbery, which I don't know how you can say that's a robbery. The first round you give to Hamzat that decisively, the second round decisively goes to Gilbert,
Yeah.
but that third round just Hamzat kept pressure, kept control. He kept. I mean, he his output. Just looking at the stats, he threw more than Gilbert did.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Gilbert is Gilbert looks for that power shot too much. He looks for that big
Bro,
overhand right way
he
too
just
much.
throws right like crazy. And I mean, he
Yeah,
did catch
he clipped
Hamza
him a
with it.
couple times, but that was the thing. Like, he was
Didn't
way
get
more
scored as
gassed
a
by the third
knockdown.
round. Yeah, they didn't score it as a knockdown.
No, which a lot
that's
of people were
ridiculous.
saying. They said it wasn't a knockdown.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
That was a knockdown for sure.
And I would, and not necessarily a hot take, but I would not have been
That's
mad
like
if
the.
Gilbert won.
Me neither.
I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think it was that close. I think like you could say that
No,
like.
all in all, Hamzat won that fight. But if Gilbert were to have win that,
Oh,
yes,
I
that's
mean
what I
that was a
mean.
war, bro.
yeah, that
That
was
was
a
a
Yes.
war.
fucking for a
That was a
3 round
great.
fight to be even considered. I mean, we're only not even in a May yet, but for a 3 round fight to already be considered fight of the year, that's. I mean,
That was a race of inches, not a race of like by a mile or anything like
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say like it wasn't close, but by no means was that like a robbery. You know,
And very little happens to Gilbert Burns after this. Like, I don't think he drops too far down the rankings. Like, maybe
he
third or fourth.
dropped to fourth.
Fourth, yeah. I'll say I haven't even
I
looked at him
think
yet,
so.
but
Let me check.
and Hamzat, I mean,
And
that
then
boosted Hamzat up to number 2, right? So he gets Kobe next,
maybe
hopefully.
I don't. I don't.
I hope he gets Kobe
I think
next.
he needs time. I think he needs more time.
I
Like
mean,
in this fight, I think this fight was like a big eye opener for just like how much more work he has to do.
so you think Gilbert exposed him?
Yeah, I do.
Not
I do.
there's. I think you can see that he can fight emotional. When he fights emotional, he doesn't put on his best performance.
Yeah, and I think
I think this
also,
was like I think that was a great example because, bro, the shots he was throwing. Like I even talked to my dad about this, like post this fight. I was like e- every shot he was throwing with just knockout power, like intentions, but they were looping right hands that weren't hitting anything. And
Yeah.
he wasn't setting up any combinations. He wasn't throwing anything behind it. He was just throwing these overhands. Like, and that wastes your, obviously it wasted his, like, his stamina.
You're saying Hamza?
Yeah, Hamza.
Yeah,
Because,
And
yeah.
I think
like,
that's another thing. Go ahead.
on the feet, he didn't look good.
Well, and I think
Like,
that's another thing too is like when he can't fight, he's a wrestler. Like he's a wrestler at heart. So he's not like a natural born striker. Like he's only been doing He's only been striking for a couple years. So I think when the ground game is negated for Hamzat, it's a whole different story, which will be
I don't
similar
think.
against Kobe.
That's what I was
Oh
saying to
yeah.
Zach the other day. Is that this would have been a different fight had he had the same approach with this fight as he did with his last fight.
Yeah.
It's like throwing one punch and then ducking under a
I
fucking
think he was
hook
trying to
and
prove a
taking the guy
point.
down.
I think he was trying to prove a point, and he sort of did, but it still shows how much like improvement he needs. And he's at a perfect place for that with the perfect people. Like Darren Till's gonna make his Muay Thai
Yeah.
like top tier, because Darren Till is a top tier Muay Thai fighter. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna
Absolutely.
argue with me. He's not one of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world.
Absolutely. But no,
But like, let me put this up to like the scale of somebody else who I think is a lot more technical. And Zach probably not gonna want to hear this, but him versus
Adesanya.
him versus Adesanya. You take
Blow me. Blow me, bro. I mean, no,
you can't
but
take
what
somebody
you're saying.
who's like you can't take
I get what
somebody
you're saying.
who is like not I want to say underdeveloped. That's not the word that I'm necessarily looking for, but someone who
No, but
still
it's a fair,
takes emotion.
but it's fair.
Yeah,
Because
to
I don't
someone
think
who
his striking's developed even close to
right.
what it should be
Well,
for him to be
not
fighting at
even
such a high level.
Not even that. I mean more as a fight IQ aspect to say that someone who is smart with their energy, a Kamaru Usman, who does not fucking overexert themselves round around, like
Like
someone
I
who
said though,
can
this is an emotional thing he was doing too.
absolutely. But
That
my
plays
point of
such a
bringing up
big part in
Izzy,
this fight.
yeah, my point of bringing up Izzy is the fact that he would prey on that.
yeah.
Somebody
Point
who
blocks, yeah, point
sure,
blocks is
sure.
terrible.
Yeah, up until the point of a knockout, because it's like his fucking accuracy is just on point to the point where I feel like he could get a knockout on
Well,
Kamzat.
and the thing is that
I don't think
like
so.
a fighter like
I
Izzy, but
I don't think he'll be getting knocked out.
I think Izzy would knock Hamzat out. If Gilbert could land how he landed on Hamzat, Izzy
Yeah,
can. Izzy picks his shots,
But
but
Hamzat was
the
hurt.
thing with Izzy
but I don't think his power is as good as
it doesn't
Gilbert's,
need to be
even
because okay,
relatively
you think
It's
about it
close.
with Kobe.
accuracy and timing.
That's it. And Izzy picks his shots. So like he's not just gonna fucking throw a crazy right hand out of nowhere like Gilbert was. Like he's gonna throw like a hook and he's gonna come up the middle and then he's gonna go over the top. He's attacking your legs, like he's
Or
body
question
kicking.
mark kick.
His and that's what I'm saying. Like Izzy is just such a more versatile fighter, like in the aspect of having multiple weapons. Like not only is his punches, his kicks, his knees, his elbows. He's got great takedown defense. Like I feel like
There's few people that know the same amount of attacks and advantages that he would have against his opponents to be like, what do I need to worry about if I'm someone who's fighting that type of skilled fighter? Like another kickboxer would be probably the best person to understand like the different angles and possibilities of shit like that that someone that skilled in striking would have compared to someone who is predominantly a wrestler and has a bit more of an emotional time sometimes in the octagon. Cause he's like excited and shit like that all the time. You know, they talk about it, they have to calm him down and shit in the back. It's
yeah,
like that's just like some people will handle life at different measurements, like
I think
or
that's
handle life
inexperience.
different things like anxiety or whatever like that differently than others. Like some might fold under the pressure, while they're experiencing anxiety, but some might rise, and that rise might be seen as the excitement, but it might not always be good. It might be too much emotion at the same time.
absolutely. Yeah,
But I mean, overall, that was a great fight.
great
It was a
fight.
banger.
Yes, yes.
Fight of the year so
I
far.
I was disappointed with the last two. I'm not gonna lie. Very disappointed with the last two.
Yeah,
Uh,
Aljo and Piotr Jan. That was. I mean, it all goes on that first round. Aljo 1, 2, and 3. Piotr 1, 4, and 5. It all goes on how you scored that first round, man.
and we just watched the first round over again, and like definitively, like I genuinely don't understand how you could score that for Aljamain Sterling. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Didn't control a cage. He didn't land the more meaningful shots.
tough round to
I mean,
score in general. I mean, like,
plain and simple for me, the reason why I give it to Jan is that Aljo was trying to get away from Jan. Jan was trying
He
to
was chasing
get to.
the whole fight
He was
though.
prey. Um,
And
he
like that, but like when you look at the criteria too, that is one of the criterias. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it goes to
right,
like
yeah.
when you pull up the unified rules and how their scoring system works, that is one of the criterias. He got a shot stuffed, another shot he completely whiffed on. Jan controlled the middle of the cage and constantly put on the pressure. Jan was still throwing back at him. Aljo was missing a lot of those punches and those kicks and wasn't landing anything.
yeah. But I mean,
And like you could also argue this whole paper champ stuff. I mean, the fourth and fifth round he completely gassed. He did nothing. He did nothing, absolutely nothing. And those the second and third, he was constantly on his back. He held Jan's back for 7 minutes.
yeah. But I mean,
And
Jan was never in danger.
but
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 Jan also he couldn't get him off of his
but how are
back.
you
That's
how are
true.
you not questioning his gas tank after that? You were on the ground for 7 minutes. You had a 7-minute rest.
Well, I feel like he wasn't even like. I feel like he wasn't gassed round 4 and 5. I feel like he was just kind of coasting.
I
Like,
think he was gassed. He took like the ugliest shots that actually costed him 5 minutes and something like 50 seconds
yeah.
of control time that gave up to Jan because he was just throwing these really lazy shots.
I'll agree with Jaydin and say that I feel like he was coasting and say like he was pulling a John Jones.
Yeah.
And times where John Jones might have won the earlier 1 through 3 rounds or something like that, and would have lost a decision had it been 4 or 5. Be like a little bit more what's the word? Just meaningful, more meaningful. We were having that conversation the other day.
I
Yeah,
Just
feel like it
that like
goes.
I think that idea needs to change where to be the champ you have to beat the champ, which is
yes.
so stupid, bro.
But I think for Aljo's case too, I think it goes back to coaching because like I was listening to like in between, like right after round 2, I think. Um, I don't remember
He
who
has
it
a bunch of
was.
yes men in his
Well,
corner.
I
I
mean, he
don't
has
care.
Ray Longo,
They're
Ali Quinta, like they're his best
and
friends.
Marab and
Washed up.
Marab.
Yeah. But I think like after I don't know if it was Ali Quinta or Ray Longo that said it in the corner after round 2, but like I'm pretty sure they told him like you're up 2-0 here, like just don't get knocked out. Like they didn't say exactly that to him, but they were like you're up on the scorecards. Like
I don't know how you can give that first round to him. Like
well,
there,
and that's what I'm
it,
saying. Like
I
Being
don't
being
get
being the
it.
corner man, you have to be positive for your fighter. Bottom
No,
line.
exactly,
I
but
think you should
Bottom
be
line.
honest. I think you should be honest, not positive. You have to be honest with your fighter. That's how, like, if it was the other way around, like with the last fight with Hamza, if his cornerman wasn't throwing stuff and screaming at him, and was like, "Oh, good job, you're doing
Russians
great.
are
Continue
built
to,"
different. I disagree entirely with that fucking argument. I can't say that they're gonna handle emotionally the same thing that other people
or
will.
like
Where it's like
with
someone
Aspen Ladd, because in Aspen Ladd's case too, when they went into her corner for
slapped the
and
bitch.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
but when they went into her corner at like the end of the second round, they were like yelling at her like, "You are losing. You need to do something. You need to stop being scared and fight."
Yeah.
Okay, I will agree to disagree with you and say that
That's fine.
people it's an individual sort of basis, and like they have to know your fighter. But from what my perspective came from was that when I've seen fighters who are down, probably say if it's a 3 round fight, just to make it simple. If they're down 2 rounds or something like that, they will be realistic with them, but they'll be positive so much so that it's uplifting, it's inspiring to them, and they get it done. I forget it was I believe it was a female fighter. I don't want to say that it was Aspen Ladd, but it was somebody else who was down like 2 rounds or something like that, pretty beat up, and then she came back and beat the girl's ass. But or the fucking submission when a couple weeks ago was that fucking the new girl Dominique or Damo, some little Dom Monster on Instagram, the stripper that jumped in fucking. I mean,
Yeah, I know you're
not to be
talking about.
disrespectful, but that was your fucking profession, ho. But I'm just saying. In her fight,
Alright.
she was a little bit down and out, and then she ended up getting a submission in that last round.
Yeah,
So it's like I think it's a person to person kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I mean, like for Aljo's case, like after such a close first round, like you couldn't being in the corner, you couldn't tell which way that round went. Like you couldn't guarantee that he won that round. So thinking about Aljo, he won round 2 decisively. He rode his back the whole time. Won round 3 decisively. He rode his back the whole time. So like now you're going into it thinking, okay, I know I won that round. I'm up 3-0 now. Now I coast these last 2 and just try not to get knocked out. And I mean,
Now that I think about it, in that 2 and 3 round, I was saying that he was just riding his back before, but he wasn't. There was a couple times where he did
He
threaten
was
the
throwing
submission.
strikes.
Well, he was
Yeah,
throwing strikes,
he
and he
was
did
working.
threaten the submission
But I'm saying
aspect of it.
that's not enough to give it a 10-8, I don't think.
no, it
Like,
definitely they
because
definitely
people were
were.
trying to argue 10-8s,
No,
and I was
Yes,
like, there's no
no,
way.
but like the thing with Piotr Jan is if somebody's on your back, fight hands, try to break the try to break the
yeah.
body
Nah,
triangle.
bro.
Don't be throwing these
His
fucking gorilla strikes, bro.
his body triangle was so tight.
It was tight,
Like,
but like I was
that
watching
was
Piotr Jan, and I was like sitting here, and I was like, bro, roll to the fucking other side. Like you have his body triangle on the wrong side. Like if you roll and get his foot to the mat, your chances of breaking that body triangle are so much stronger. But it just looked like once Aljo got on Piotr Jan's back, Piotr Jan didn't know how to get him off. Like he was fucking trying to hit him while he
Yeah.
was behind him. Like you gotta try to break that body or fucking
It was
his
a
legs and make him.
it was a tough spot for him to be in because I don't think he necessarily knew that he needed to get the body triangle to the other side. But he did know that he couldn't leave his arms too far away from his neck for too long, where he like might get choked.
Right. Well, I'm saying like, and I mean Aljo's his jujitsu game is crazy. Like I mean,
Yeah.
Aljo's got great jujitsu for sure. Great ground game in general.
Great
But I
guy.
mean,
Fuck him.
if you're fighting for the belt and you know that you're fighting a jujitsu guy, you should know, like you should train that. Like you should train, especially watching Aljo's tape back. Like once he gets on your back, most people's back that he's got on, they've been fucked. Like he's literally calls himself the human backpack. Like dude's like a little spider monkey. You gotta at least train that in your camp, how to get somebody off your back and not just let them ride you the whole time. But I mean, all in all, I don't think Aljo and TJ. How do you think that fight goes?
I hope TJ stomps him.
I hope TJ stomps him too, honestly, but I think TJ might be a little washed.
And I hate TJ Dillashaw. I literally there's nobody in the UFC I dislike more than TJ Dillashaw.
Even Izzy.
I hate TJ.
Yeah,
I will root for Izzy before I root for TJ,
fair.
and that's because my favorite fighter is /
Cody
was Cody
Garbrandt.
Garbrandt. And literally, if TJ was an EPO cheater, like dirty fighter,
Cody should have won.
I
the
what I
bantamweight
see.
division would have been different. But
What-
we can't get off track.
What
Go ahead,
okay.
Theron.
What I was seeing for the bantamweight real quick was that I think this fight with Rob Font and Chito Vera is going to get the
Winner of that is number one contender. So winner of that.
yeah,
is Cody Jan.
either that's gonna be who Jan fights is the winner of Rob Font and Chito Vera coming up, or that's going to be the winner and next contender for the title after this fight.
But I
with
don't
the-
think you should even jump over Jan. I think that's like that's.
I don't
doing
think
him
so
a
either.
disservice. I think he
Um,
deserves an immediate rematch. If you gave Figgy an immediate rematch after fighting Moreno,
But I mean, who
and
else
then
were you
you're
gonna give
giving
to Figgy?
giving Moreno an immediate rematch over fighting Figgy
But
again.
there's like the two weight divisions are also in complete different spots though.
Hold on, I mean, up until now you could say, oh, Kaikara France, that's the emerging guy. But before Alexander Pantoja, who was supposed to fight Figgy before.
we have to be honest about what Daddy Dana does, though. He's gonna chase whatever the bag is, and that's right, and that's what it was with the Moreno Figueredo fight.
Yeah.
This fight, he said right afterwards that fight's always gonna be there with Jan. So I don't think his top priority is Jan anymore, unfortunately.
But I mean,
And that's why I say this Rob Font Cheeto shit might
But like
multiplying
that
something.
also sets it up like perfectly too. Like you give Aljo, TJ, whoever wins
Or you
that,
could honestly, you could do Aldo versus Jan too, and that's the real.
bro. Jose Aldo fucking called out Aljo. I don't know if I seen it on
Oh
Instagram or
yeah,
Twitter, but
I'd
Jose
agree with that.
Aldo called out Aljo, and I think
Bro, but think about it, Jan Aldo too. Oh my God, bro,
yeah,
that'd be such a fun fight again. Cause that fight was competitive too,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
up until like the fourth round, and then Jan just overwhelmed Aldo and destroyed him. Aldo, my bad, Aldo.
yeah. And Jose Aldo's been on a little tear here with his old ass,
Yeah.
But
but
yeah,
to the
a lot of interesting
fucking
matchups.
to the main event of the evening, bro. The
Such
GOAT.
a disappointing fight.
Volk.
Again, I was gonna say I was very disappointed with the last one. I think we can assume why now, but I was also disappointed with this because there's no reason, in my opinion, that you should ever put a contender up for the title who lost to the last person who just fought for the title. Korean Zombie lost to Brian Ortega right before fucking he fought this. Well, that was his last fight before this fight. Brian Ortega lost to Volkanovski.
No, he fought Danny Ige before.
Yeah.
He
He
did.
fought Ortega
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
before.
all right, all right, all
but
right.
he was coming
But
off of a win. But still, there's no excuse.
no, yeah,
It
that's
was a
Korean
bad
Zombie.
matchup. It was a terrible matchup.
terrible matchup for Korean Zombie, man. And I felt so like after that third round, I was like, man, throw in the towel. Like
When he was on his knees and his head on the canvas and shit like that, that was hard to watch. That
yeah,
was really hard to
and like
watch.
respect to Volk for coming out in the fourth round and like I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but it's kind of like a respectful thing. Like they had a conversation like at the beginning of that round. He was like, "You good? Like, are you sure?" And fucking Korean Zombie's a warrior though, man. But zombies gotta die sometime.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that was tough. That was tough to watch.
I feel like Volk just had his way the whole fight. And Volk is just he's just an animal. Like there's other than Max Holloway, I don't think there's anybody in this division that can beat him, bro. As of right now.
Yeah, Zabit's not in there anymore.
Nope.
They might throw Yair in there, but bro, I hope Yair gets knocked out.
But the beating that Max just put on, I mean, that was a good fight both ways between Max and Yair, but Max just laid a beating on Yair. I think Volk wins maybe 2 more at featherweight and goes up. Because if you think about Volk too, Volk has fought in his early career, he fought heavy. I think he fought at every weight going down to featherweight, or at least a couple weight classes going down to featherweight.
That's insane.
Because I mean,
He's
bro,
a,
you should be 225, not
he's
2.
a
Yeah.
good he's a good champ. He's easy to cheer for.
He's a great
And
champ.
you want to see him win.
Andrew Schultz just had him on his podcast too. Fucking
Bro,
top tier.
that
Go
was
check
the
shit out.
That
funniest.
and
That
he was on
so funny.
Fuck That's Delicious with fucking Action Bronson.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just did one.
Dude's just a fucking monster, man. I mean, and you look like I mean, both Max Holloway fights were good, but he fucking torched Brian Ortega, torched Chan Sung Jung. Arguably, some people could say that in the second fight he kind of torched Max, but Max Holloway is, I think,
It was close no matter what.
yeah, I think Max Holloway is Volk's only somewhat competitive fight in this division, and I think Volk he's young enough, he's at a good enough point in his career to be able to go up weight and make something happen at 55.
No.
I
I think he should stay at 45 and fight Cejudo. If he starts with Cejudo, bro, that you know what he does for his legacy? That's such a big accomplishment to have to beat Cejudo.
How do you? I feel like I feel like Cejudo's just at a disadvantage at featherweight though, man.
He's at a disadvantage because he's fat as fuck. And he's been out for the amount of time that he has.
But he's been training.
And fuck him.
He's been in like 3 camps constantly.
No, I mean he's always training, but man, that wrestling shit ain't flying with Volk, bro. And you're not gonna put the hands to Volk like you put them to everybody else. Like Volk is gonna bring that shit to you, and I think that's just the thing is Alexander Volkanovski is just so aggressive, and he's just, like them
He's so
Zealanders,
fast.
them Islanders, boy, them Australians.
He's technically Australian.
Yeah, but he
I
trains in
guess.
New Zealand. But anyway, bro, the fucking the Islander region, Australia, New Zealand, fucking they are some animals, bro. You can't put it past fucking city kickboxing. They are some fucking dogs.
I do think that how Jay was saying he'll go to 55. but I don't think he'll win. I don't think he does good at
I don't.
I
55.
think he's too small for 55.
Yeah, I think he's too small for Gaethje. He's too small for Charles Oliveira.
No,
Uh,
I think he would be able to beat Gaethje because Gaethje's so punch drunk. I don't think he'd be able to beat
Gaethje will knock
Oliveira.
that nigga the fuck out. Hot take.
I
I don't
don't
even care that
know.
that's hot.
He hasn't taken
Gaethje will
enough
sleep him.
damage like in his career, I think, for him to be worried about that.
I don't see anybody at 45 hitting as hard as Gaethje does.
No. There's
Who else is?
very few people in the
Who's,
UFC
who's,
that hit as hard as Gaethje
that's what
does.
I'm saying. Who's hitting him as hard as Gaethje does? I don't think anybody. Um, fucking Dustin Poirier. Don't even know if he's gonna fight at 55 again. He don't want that boxing smoke though.
No,
Bro, he don't
but
want that Kobe smoke.
What
He don't want
Poirier
that
doesn't.
Colby smoke. Dustin's scared of Colby.
I
He's a
believe that.
soy boy.
That's
Dustin's a
fine.
soy
Whatever.
boy.
Yeah, I mean,
Soy
but
boy Poirier.
Poirier doesn't want that smoke with Volkanovski,
I
or
think
Volkanovski rather doesn't
I
want the
think
smoke with
he's
Poirier.
good at. I think Poirier will just chase a fight with McGregor again or something, some big money fight
I mean,
because
at this point in his career, what
he's
else is there
he's
left to
done with
do?
title contentions.
Yeah.
He's 0-2, 0-3,
But I
0-2
mean,
I
like, you can
think.
see he's already chasing the bag. He's been calling out Nate Diaz for fucking 2 years. Called out Conor
Yeah.
McGregor for a year and finally got
I
that.
think that's his money fight. I think that'd be the best fight. Does Nate have one more still?
I think Nate just re-signed.
No, I
He
don't know
didn't?
if he did or not. He asked for a release.
Oh, you're right.
That's
Maybe
the
that's
last
what it
thing. That
is.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe
that's the last thing I saw a couple weeks ago or something like that was a release. But I would love to see Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier.
that'd be a fucking great fight.
That'd be a fucking amazing fight. Madison Square. Well, I shouldn't say Madison Square Garden, because they'll fucking call the shit again from bleeding.
No, he has
But
to be in New York. Can't. Nobody wants to
MGM
see New York.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say this when Zack said something about unified rules and shit like that. And like how they score things. I wonder if how they score things is different state to state. How rules are different state to state
I
because
think
there's some that are
it's
fucking stupid out there still.
I forget how it goes. Like we
Well,
probably have to read up on it.
yeah.
And
Some states go by
figure
the
it out.
unified rules where it's one hand, or I think the unified rules are if you have
The
both
the
knees
it,
or
the
one.
more updated ones.
Yeah, I think it's one hand on the mat, and then the old rules are two hands on the mat. If I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken, but I mean that's why people
How
were
about just
arguing with
how about
But
the
just sitting down?
Mississippi is like fucking still 12-6 and shit. All those
oh yeah, they're
untouched
throwing
fucking places.
they're on those Mississippi's on those fucking pride rules, bro. Fucking stomping people, fucking
Soccer cakes,
literally Randy Orton shit, bro.
bro. But overall that was a really good card. Really enjoyable. It was fun
Yeah, definitely
up
didn't
until the
upset.
last two fights. Yeah. But we're going from that to
Who is this?
to be honest with you, up until the main event, it's very underwhelming.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of contenders fighting, and we'll just go like the headline for the prelims is Devin Clark and William Knight, which is that should be fun, but
oh,
you never
Panicky and
know.
Zad's finally getting back in there. She hasn't fought in a couple years, or at least a year. It's a long ass fucking prelim card.
Yeah,
Chris
Main
Barnett.
card.
I'm excited to see Chris Barnett fight again with his big ass.
yeah, he's fighting Martin Buday.
I know more people on the fucking prelims than I do on the fucking the main card.
A lot of new names on the prelim card though.
This is like a whole contender card right here,
Yeah.
but the one everybody probably cares about the most, one that I know I care about the most. Vicente Luque fighting Bilal Muhammad.
Man, oh man.
I think
Bilal
it's gonna
Muhammad
be a
looks like
crazy
Drake if he
fight.
never fucking got rich from Degrassi.
But the first fight they had, Luque just starched him in the first round.
Yeah.
But I think this is a completely different fight. Muhammad's on a 3-fight win streak, 4-fight win streak. He's looking really good and like really, really developed.
I think yeah, he's found that traction. Like now he's got it going. Now it's time to keep it going. But
And
fucking
he's
Vicente Luque is a dog.
I think he's found a way to implement his wrestling with his striking, to where it's gonna make Luque guess a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Luque's probably gonna come out win like the first round. It's gonna be a close second round. It's gonna be a close third round. Then the fourth round, he's just gonna get subbed. I think Muhammad's gonna like just drain him and just suffocate him with pressure, and he's not gonna be able to keep up. Could be wrong,
I would
but
love to see Bilal Muhammad win this, but man,
yeah, I'm gotta
I
root for
I am a
Muhammad.
fan, but I'm gonna go with the odds on this one. I think Luke is gonna win.
I gotta root for my Middle Eastern brothers.
I feel you. I feel you 100%. And I like the fight with Steven Thompson was a fucking great fight. I love
It was
that.
an
That was
eye opener, I think, for a lot of fighters,
yeah.
just to see how much you can evolve. Because Muhammad, like I'm telling you, Wonder Boy's so hard to take down
that
for
fucking
just
and it's weird too because he fights out of that karate stance, so you would think you'd be able to shoot a fucking
it's
single.
so
Mhm.
wide, yeah.
But my point of why I think Luke takes this one was the Leon Edwards fight. Um, Up until that point, Leon Edwards I think was winning that pretty clearly.
That first
Um,
fight or the eye poke one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The first
Yeah,
it was only one round. It was only one round to be fair.
yeah, but
Um,
like I said, I think he's gonna be like he's a late round fighter, so that's why this main event works in his favor, like
right.
especially
I see. I see what
because
you mean.
I
Yeah.
think he's gonna pour it on third through fifth round and probably get a sub in there the fourth or fifth.
If he fucking can not get hit, like
Yeah, Luke's fucking left hand on
Tyron
I
Woodley.
think that was him. That was their fight. I think it was he dropped him with a left
Yeah,
hand,
yeah.
left hook. That was so clean. That was so clean and tight. Like that's fucking for him to be as good at jiu-jitsu as he is and to be that good of a striker. I'm always impressed by those people.
Facts.
Um,
I think the
but
winner of this should fight either Colby or Hamza. I
The
think
winner
this
of
would
that.
be yeah, should fight Colby or Hamza, and then the loser should fight Burns. Like Luque Burns, bro, even though they're like best friends. So it probably wouldn't happen, but imagine that fight. Oh my god, I think Luque would beat him in that fight too. I think that's a horrible fight for Burns.
he's way more technical,
Bro, he's
striking wise.
so fluent and just so fast.
Man,
But
I don't see a lot of people other than maybe the top three beating Gilbert Burns.
well, I think the champion and number one are always going to stay this. I don't
Yeah.
think there's anybody else on the planet besides arguably Kamaru Usman, and even then, I think this is like they're like neck and neck with each other.
Who's that?
Uh,
Who's neck and neck with each other?
Colby and Kamaru.
Yes, absolutely. I'd agree with that 100%.
Just imagine if Colby was on steroids like Kamaru is, bro.
I wouldn't even say.
Bro.
Wild.
I wouldn't even say.
Bro. Conspiracy theory. I
How you got
believe it.
back knee and you're 34? I don't want to hear it.
He's
He's got
African.
back knee and he's 30. And?
Black. Okay, that's worse of a fucking argument because black people have some of the best skin in the fucking world next to Asians, bro.
Yeah.
Asian skin is smooth as fuck. I don't get it.
They age like fucking soap, bro.
Gotta give me that
Right?
remedy. I need that Asian remedy. But man, I don't know, man. I just think the thing with Kamaru is, bro, is his fight IQ is he has such a high fight IQ, and I mean, now that he's training with Trevor Whitman, I think that just raises his fight IQ on top of fucking adding striking, like a top level striking coach to your resume, like. And I mean, especially who he's training with. Like, he might be a weight class under him, but training with Justin Gaethje, training with the legends like Rose, like Pat Barry. I don't see Kamaru Usman being beat by anybody for a while. I think Kamaru Usman will be a champ for a while.
I think he
I think
retires the
Colby
champ.
can beat him.
No, I think Kamaru retires champ. I just
No, I
don't
think
think Colby.
I think Colby is the only person who can beat him.
I think Colby could beat him, but I think Colby still.
Israel Adesanya.
Adesanya and him would never fight.
Yeah,
It's
the Nigerian Brotherhood. But I mean, Colby. The
Marty
only,
from
Yeah,
Nebraska.
yeah, Marty fake
Marty
newsman.
from Nebraska. Get out of here, bro. He only claims being Nigerian after he wins the belt.
you know what I want to see is if Colby gets another chance at Kamaru, I want to see him drop the little facade that he has going on for a training camp.
He can't.
I
He
know,
can't.
No,
but
yeah.
I
As
would
soon as
love
he
to
does,
see
he's
Colby
out.
This is
drop
one
that.
of the things.
Yeah,
This is
me
one of the
too.
things I hate about UFC fans, especially casual fans, is they don't understand that this is the only way he's going to be able to sell fights till he retires. And then once he retires and he drops the facade and becomes like Chael Sonnen, everybody's going to be grateful for what he's done.
Well, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, sell the fight. Do what you got to do to sell the fight, but scale it back a little bit, bro. Like, none of the social media shit. Like, cut that. Like,
But he has to. That's his brand.
right, that's his
You know
brand.
what I'm
But
saying?
you
You
gotta
can't you
think,
can't
man. You're
tell.
fighting for this championship. At some point, you gotta. It depends on what you want more. Do you want the eyes on you, or do you want the championship belt? Like, I get it.
No.
You're not gonna be where you are without your shit talking and without the little show you're putting on for everybody. But at some point,
Brazil, you're a bunch of filthy animals.
like he's reckless as fuck, and I think that carries over into his fight. Like, you get a nigga pissed off like that, bro.
I think his last two fights, they were just he was emotionally invested in both of them as well.
Well, and that exactly because of the facade that he carries. Like, he puts
No,
himself in that
the
predicament.
not at all. I think the Masvidal fight was real beef.
Oh well, yeah, the Masvidal fight, but everybody.
Yeah, no, I say
I knew.
aside from that, I agree with Jaydin 100%. The Kamara one, when he had that fucking interview on ESPN or whatever, and he was like, "Wait till next time." Yeah, he
Or
was.
even like at the when Kamaru was at the table during one of his post fights before their first fight, and they were about to fucking throw hands like at the table.
Bro, but hold on. It's a two-sided coin. You can't say that Colby needs to tone it down without Kamaru feeding into it as well, because they're both equally as responsible.
Well, but I mean,
Kobe starts that every time though.
exactly.
Kobe's a shit starter.
And whoever he's fighting, they just feed into it and keep like they know what he's doing. They know Kobe's putting on a facade.
But when McGregor did it, it was okay. See, I don't know. This is
But that was
my
the thing.
issue.
McGregor didn't
I
need
think
that
it's
facade to sell fights before that. McGregor was like that his whole career. McGregor never
But
had a fucking
this is
time where.
but this is a style issue then, because the reason why he was gonna get cut is because of his style, where he just drowns people and takes them down and just
That's why that is why
Yeah.
he built up the facade to begin with.
Exactly,
Was
and like
Yeah.
Connor
So
doesn't need that. Connor's an exciting fighter. Colby is just unfortunately not an exciting fighter.
I think his fight style is exciting. I like seeing
because we're
somebody
deep.
crumbled under
because
pressure.
We're deep in it. Yeah.
But
You can't
comparing it
tell
to
me
Conor,
that fight against. Well, no, I'm comparing the facade in
Oh,
the
yeah.
act. That's what I'm comparing. But like I said, I'm biased. I think Colby's gonna be missed once he is gone, and people are gonna. You know what I'm saying? You don't truly like. You're not truly grateful for something till it's gone.
Oh, I agree. I think the people who are mostly mad at him are casuals.
Yeah.
And don't see through the facade and shit like that. But I do agree 100% that he does put himself in some fucked up situations because of that.
Nobody should. Well, the whole Masvidal thing, bro. He said
Yeah.
nothing wrong. He said
I don't know what he said about his kids necessarily, but
He just said you're
He
a
said-
shit dad. Basically.
he said you're a deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he said. And everybody's like, keeps talking about his kids. And like when you listen to it, he says nothing but like praises Masvidal's ex-wife and their kids.
Yeah.
Like, cause she's a breadwinner for real.
the only thing I'll say about that is that Chael Sonnen had to go around in armored vehicles when he was at the height of his fucking talking shit stuff. All right.
I think Colby.
All I'm saying is that shit goes deep, and you can overstep the line when you're just trying to sell fights and shit like that, and you can talk yourself into something more than an ass whooping.
Absolutely. Well, look what Conor did against Khabib. Like, I mean, he won a round, but Conor got.
Well, then the Irish mob was like, "Hey, yo, like,"
Calm down,
And then
buddy.
the Russian mob said, "What?
right?
Hey, bro, I'll put all my money on the Russian. I don't care who you are.
Facts, bro. No, Russians are fucking just built different, bro. Russians are
They
like
run
New York.
deep, bro.
Like they're
You'll have
just
like
a different breed.
you have like 2 Russians fight 30 fucking Irish guys and win. which is insane.
I feel like
Hot take, I'm
Spartan
taking
Irish.
Irish. Hot take, I'm taking Irish.
Oh, 2 versus 30.
I'm taking those fucking drunk, crazy motherfuckers. All right, that
That's what I'm
make up
saying.
predominantly 90% of all serial killers. All right, I'm taking those guys.
I don't know. I'll take the Russians who like play with bears for fun and like wrestle bears. I'll
But
take
like,
them.
okay, so put this into perspective. You know how easy it is to knock out just a regular drunk person, right? You ain't knocking out no drunk Irish person, bro.
That's what I'm saying,
It's not
bro.
drunk,
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. The fisticuffs, if we're just going fucking Civil War, hand for hand combat and shit like that, running at each other, ain't no way.
It's like the
Ain't
Nah,
no
Family
bro.
way.
Feud when
See,
Peter
but
Mayhew
you're
Ain't
not.
no
died.
way.
But you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about it logically. You got numbers on Russia's side. It's about to be like World War II. They about to throw everybody out there. It's just constant fight.
You know, I don't want to say that everybody in Russia rocks with fucking Khabib
Oh,
because
Yes, they
like
do.
it no
Yes,
because
they
like
do. They
60% of
love
Russia
him,
is
man.
atheists. All right,
Bro,
he's in the fucking
oh,
mountains. All right,
nah, bro. They
praising
brought they brought him they
praising the
brought
Lord.
he
That's the
brought a
only
championship home, bro. That's all they care about.
nah. I
They have literal block parties, bro. Putin loves him.
yeah. Well, he's like right hand.
When the
Well, not
most
right hand man to Putin, but you know what I'm saying. Like he's close with Putin.
no, he's close with the president of Dagestan or like the
That's
prime
what I'm
minister or
saying.
whatever.
It's fucking Slumdog Millionaire over here. All right, that's all he is.
Yeah. But
But
I mean, nonetheless, though, fucking this year of fights, I think what is in store for the rest of this year for the UFC. I think Dana. I don't know what you can say about Dana's take in it, but Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, the way that they've been setting up these fights recently, I think has been golden. Like there really, other than the Korean Zombie fucking Volk fight, there really hasn't been too many mismatches or just like bad stylistic matchups, bad ranking matchups. Like I feel like they've been doing a good job keeping it straightforward. Like pretty much, this is like kind of like a Bellator style thing. Like it's almost like tournament style, but with no bracket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But
But no, fun week, definitely
fucking great week.
fun. Yeah.
Can't wait for 274.
Cannot wait, bro. What is that? 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now?
Something like that. May
Yeah,
7th.
let me check.
Yeah, something like 2 weeks.
Yeah, May 7th. Well, we got fight night coming up next week as well.
Who's that? Who's next week's fight night?
Amanda Lemos, was that one? Or the one after? One after the next. Yeah. After Luque is
Oh yeah.
Amanda Lemos and Jessica Andrade. Fucking and then Rob Front, Chito Vera. I'm excited as fuck for that one. April
That'd be
30th.
great.
5 straight weeks of fights, and then we take 2 off. 5 straight weeks
Look.
of fucking bangers too.
Yeah, we're in store for a lot of fun.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. As always, this is the cage,
The cage.
new
the
and
cage.
improved.
Dropping
Yes,
that
sir.
MMA knowledge,
Cage
baby.
Pod.
Every
Bro,
week.
On
spitting
Instagram.
facts out here.
Cage Pod on Instagram and
Yes,
YouTube.
sir. Yes, sir. Follow the socials, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how much you hate us, how ugly we are, whatever you want. I don't care as long as you comment.
As long as you stay
Hey.
tuned for what we got in store, baby.
Yes,
K Hansen,
sir.
you're a hoe.
But post more on your
Alrighty.
OnlyFans now. All right.
All right, boys. See you next week.
Peace out. Peace out.
Deuces.
Peace out.
Peace.